Yeah. Mic check 1, 2, you hear me? 144 back again. Run it back. Yeah. It's time to leave the enemy desolate. I'm heaven sent, these niggas just on some extra shit, and I ain't impressed with it. Could you kick that bullshit to the left of me? Hey look, you can't deny this excellence. I use this mic like weaponry, and I've been seeking more clarity. Right now I'm ready as I'll ever be, rugged as I ever been. The devil knocking at my door, I'ma let him in, cause I'm a worthy adversary. Pour them liqueur laced with rosemary. It's time to grind, ain't no time to tarry. Take one of mine, get your soul carried. I got them worried, plus these niggas full of estrogen. They fickle, they false. Gotta be balls so end up in the real issue. Fuck with my brethren, I deal with you. Yeah, look, it's getting real official. Seeing how them bitches can cross you, and how they still twist you. It'll hit you, then peel a tissue. Them others weep, my brother's been sent to the deep. So tell me, how can I turn the other cheek while this wicked world trying to smother me? Something gotta shake, I'm gonna cry it out. Time to gird up my loins and ride out. In my soul I feel devastation. In my eyes I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. I said I don't wanna see no more. And in my soul I feel devastation. In my eyes I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. And I don't wanna see no more.
Beat the cops, beat the ops, beat the motherfucking eyes. I'm the one. Why you think that I've been rolling with a Kai? Your little arms is too short to hotbox with God. Fringes long, team strong with them, a gun, die would die. Tired of these fake snakes, crooked Nate to oppress Jake. No pressure makes diamonds I won't break. On this crooked landscape, we gon' make some shake. So I ain't got time to argue with you fucking reprobates. While these crackers getting richer when we raise the crime rate, and they hunt my people like gorillas and some primates. So we in these streets trying to raise a brother's mind state in every concrete jungle, from Cali to the tri-state. I buried brothers over beef that they couldn't squash. Blood in the streets, brains out like galosh. I trust the cracker when I mix that squash. You listening to real niggas, dog, who can't be bought. Whoa, why you think I go so hard? Cause this world's fucked up, nigga, I've been scarred. PTSD, brothers can't drop their guard. Every day some bullshit, you gotta weave and bob. It's no facade, so every day I'm on my job. It's time to send these devils to the land of Nod. Cause when I lost my religion, that's when I found God. So when I lost my religion, nigga, I found God.
In my soul I feel devastation. In my eyes I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. I said I don't wanna see no more. Hey, in my soul I feel devastation. In my eyes I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't wanna see no more desolation. And I don't wanna see no more.
When Westworld, let's get it. Don't be sure, tell them make sure. If not, we gon' make war. Clips say it hold 20, but I think it could take more. Grab a stick, fire on your camp, we gon' make s'mores. I ain't satisfied with my spot, then I'ma take yours. No matter how many roadblocks in my way, I'ma break forward. This path I'm on is so damn narrow, I just stay forward. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, I just ate more. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, give me 8 more. Nigga, I don't sugarcoat shit, bitch, I'm straightforward. Don't give a fuck if they don't let me in, I just break doors. Ballin' so hard, they asking what team that I play for. Scammer who? They ain't stopped making guns when they made yours. Sick with it, feeling like I woke up with stage 4. They ain't want the beast loose, what they opened up the cage for. Endure the pain, been through hard times is what I'm made for. Paid my dues, never left a wage, I just rage war. So many chains and gold teeth, this the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Still against all enemies. In high school, you was the man, that's lost memory shit. Lost energy, never lost my energy. Never lose control, never losing, dog, I plan to keep. You lose your mind where I'm from, I ain't talking from what you see. I never lost soul, losing times, wasting steady pacing. You off track, I'm on that. You pray to God, hoping he can save you. But there's power about war, and that's a different angle. This another lost cause, and I'm just adding to the list. They not seeing me for that reason, got a flash on the grip. Nigga, big priest, they gon' judge me by my increase. And I'ma keep stepping in these joys to the increase. Just got off the phone with Jacob, and he said it's time to shine. Certified, blue dot, put it on you, now you verified. One West world, bigger than World War III. Do not sleep, it's not cheap, and it's still top 3.
So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Came on boats and then chains, so when I get rich, I'ma grab a boat and 10 chains with 12 ribs from each tribe. And each rib gonna have at least 3 kids. Yeah, I'ma have the deep squad. Been rapping since knee high. Now a nigga shack size. Spit that holy fire, when you hear it, you get baptized. One West world, yeah, you niggas know the logo. And I'ma bust it down so the haters see the glow glow. Let's have a feast, let's shine on our enemies. Right in they face, let's blind all our enemies. Cause now we half, but we come from half not. Throw that cash on the ground, my nigga, let's cast lots. I started from the bottom, birthed out of mud, raised by gangsters, turned out a thug. I ain't give a fuck, burnt out I was, from hitting licks in and out and selling nicks in the drop.
So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
I got you. Let it vibe real quick. Look.
The city eyes. It's time to vote God. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shot in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation voltage can fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times 2. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. The colder than the avalanche, way above average. A fiend's taste sweet, told him make me an apple crisp. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Child become a man, dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evanston with Mark Quad, telling me how them crackers turn his childhood to a ghost town. Poker stop, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Let my light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no tangent. Try to warn them niggas, we bear arms like tarantula. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems. I really seen profits under this banner. Made my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty Diana. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo. Spirit ancient, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Hate me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Ride around with Yara, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah.
Yeah, on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and their head with that shit.
Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, up too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They say you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the field like Jeepers Creepers, say they want some smoke, dawg. So I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even cap. These niggas don't run it like we running, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till them do us part. So if you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, fine then. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dawg? Guns and butter, baby boy. UPK top, dawg. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that E-Line van to a damn tank. I got choppers stashed in that attic like they Anne Frank. They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See him throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, I'm gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the dust, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a made, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. Said they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real.
Hey, Shalom Yahab Bashem Yashai Rakafam Yahab Shemal Thumb Bashem Yashai to all the sisters. All right. It's the Wednesday night law class. We're live. It's Wednesday night. We're going to be live. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're also on TikTok. What's up? Let me get on TikTok, actually. Right. So we're definitely live. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. As you can see by the title, it's the Wednesday night law class, Israel, Hamas, right? We are in the beginnings of, or you could say we're watching the things that are leading up to World War III, right? Nations are being pulled into this conflict. Nations are choosing sides. That's what's happening. Right, and it's definitely clear that for both sides, you are on the Israeli side, Amalek, the Jewish man, right, as well as the Arabs, the Palestinians, the Philistines, right, Hamas. They both say that they have rights to the lineage of Abraham. Right, they were both promised things, right? They'll both refer back to the Torah and the Tanakh for their talking points, right? Well, there is a power in the Torah and the Tanakh in the Bible. Right? There is a power, and that power is clearly showing you these signs, and he's showing that he is not with Israel or Hamas. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing that the Most High is not with either side, right? So that's what we're going to get into today. We're going to get into that.
if I could first start with, right, as we get into what's going on, right? This thing has been all over the news, right? You have one side, right? Now listen, there's how would I say it? There's evil on both sides of the fence, right? If you want to look at it, I'm going to give it to you from a biblical perspective, right? Both sides are killing each other. Both sides are killing children. Both sides are damn near extremists, from the Israelis to the Palestinians, right? But at the same time, you could also look at this situation as there is a people who are being oppressed, right? And again, I'm not trying to give any sympathy to either side, right? Because I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm clearly black, right? Black people ultimately do not have a dog in this fight, right? All we got to do really is sit back with some popcorn and chill out. That's literally all we got to do. Get you some strong, get you a drink, watch the news clips. This is good entertainment, right? Listen, for years, Black, Hispanic, and Native tragedy has been on the news. It's been everywhere, and no one does anything or says anything about it. And right now, it's as if everybody wants Black and brown people to speak up for people who've never spoke up for us, right? So we're gonna get into this situation now. Okay, so there's many people, Christians, Muslims, Jewish people alike. They all have some of these, or try to use these holy scriptures to their benefit, right? We're gonna find out something about these holy scriptures and what it says in it, right? Here's the next thing. Everyone wants to pray for peace, right? No Black person, no Hispanic person should be praying for peace, because no one has prayed for our peace. No one has prayed for our salvation. No one has prayed or even spoke up for the things that the Canadian government, the South American governments, or the American government has done to the Caribbean government, the governments throughout the world has done to the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? So that's what we're going to be getting into. The first thing I wanted to get into is I'm gonna read a quick precept before I keep going, right? So you can understand exactly where we're coming from, what we're talking about. Let me find it. Hold up. Bear with me a moment. Right, so I got Exodus 15:3. Listen, if you're Muslim, you gotta understand that your Quran told you to listen to the children of Israel. If you're Jewish, if you're Israeli, this is in your Quran, right? This is Exodus. This is in your Torah and Tanakh, Salakia. This is Exodus 15:3. The Lord is a man of war, right? This is what we're watching right now throughout the news, throughout media, is the Lord being a man of war. The Lord doing what he said he was going to do, right? He is being a man of war. We're watching the war on the internet. We're watching it on our TV. It's in our face, right? You got damn near in every city, you got people protesting. You have Caucasians choosing the sides of Caucasians, and that should not be a surprise. Like, anybody who's watching this conflict, everybody that's watching this conference, right? Well, listen, if everybody doesn't have something worth saying, right, you just turn your phone off. That's all you got to do. It's that simple, right? Turn your phone off. Again, the Lord is a man of war. He's causing these conflicts. He's having these conflicts go out through the earth, right? Not everyone wants to hear this. Hey, Shalom, Shariwan, Yahweh, Shem, Yahshua, Barakatah.
Yahweh, Shem, Yahshua, Barakatah. What's going on, everyone?
I'm Tawab, right? Right. So, as I was saying, this is a conflict that's happening because the Lord set it up for this to happen, right? Even if these heathens didn't want to fight each other, even if these heathens didn't want to go to war, they were going to war because the Lord is pulling them into the war, and there's nothing they could do about it, right? Now, I got a question, right? Again, I have no dog in this fight. Absolutely no dog in this fight. I'm chilling with some good drink and some snacks, and I'm watching it like a movie. I'm watching it how everybody watched the crack epidemic. I'm watching it how everybody watched the Haitians get stuck at the Mexican border, right, in America and Texas, the border between America and between Texas and Mexico. I'm watching it like everyone watched the Venezuelans try to get into America fleeing from poverty and oppression, and no one said nothing. There was no pray for Venezuela. I never seen not one Palestinian or Jewish person say pray for Haiti. But now everyone wants our prayers. Which are you want? Listen, I ain't praying for nothing. I'm praying for Israel. Right? We're gonna get into that. But again, the Lord is a man of war, and the Lord is his name. Right. So all you Christians, all you people who say you believe in the Torah and Tanakh, or you are quote unquote so-called Muslim, your Quran says you have to listen to the children of Israel, right? And we're telling you the Lord is a man of war, right? So what's happening is around in the 40s, the British Empire helped the Palestinians get into Palestine, right? The Palestinians biblically would be the Philistines, right? So the Philistines, these are the same people that David fought against, right? David killed Goliath. Goliath killed the Philistine, right? Samson slayed the Philistines. That's again, this is something that we've been seeing for a very long time, where the God of the Bible, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? He goes to war with these heathen nations because he despises these heathen nations. Clearly, everyone who says, on one hand, you have Jewish people saying, we're the Lord's chosen, and prophecy happened, so we're back in the land of Israel, right? That small stitch that they call the land Israel. It's just a small space. Listen, that whole Fertile Crescent was the land of Israel. The whole Middle East was the land of Israel, right? And then you have Muslim people saying the Lord is with them. The Quran is better than the Bible. Shari Wan, look, we're watching right now, and the Lord is not with none of them, right? It's supposed to be the Holy Land. That's what these Jewish people say. They say it's the Holy Land. It's the Holy Land. Well, how are bombs going off in the Holy Land? How are people dying, right? And you got someone in the comments saying, don't claim to be an Israelite. Well, who are you to tell me what I could claim, right? Black people are Israelites, and the Lord is not with the so-called Amalekites.
That's
Again,
right.
he's blowing that place up, right? I'm not siding with none. If you're asking if I'm siding with Palestine or Israel, I'm not siding with none. None of them should be in that land, right? I'm responding to TikTok comments. We got a class going. We're on Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok. I'm not siding with none of them because none of them should be in that land. It doesn't belong to them, right? Now, again, in the 40s, around the 40s is when the British was dealing with the Palestinians. they set them up in that land. Listen, a lot of people who are commenting, if you're asking who should be there, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the true Israelites of antiquity, right? You're probably going to say, what is he talking about? You probably never heard that before, right? But there are people who've gone through oppression at the hands of every nation, right? Specifically, Hispanic as in Native Americans who were forced to speak Spanish by Caucasian folks, right? So again, in the 40s, the British Empire was dealing with the Palestinians. They set them up in the land where they are right now, known as Palestine. After World War II, around the 50s, around 1948, the UN, around that time, the UN, 1948 or 49, the UN moved migrants, right? Immigrants or migrants or people traveling from the Eastern European bloc into what is now known as the land of Israel. The UN backed them. America gives them $3.8 billion annually. Them Israelis are the biggest welfare supporters ever, right? Now, when this happened, there was conflict, and they've been fighting for decades. This conflict has been happening for over decades, right? Where you have, okay, so now for all, again, I have no dog in the fight. I have no sympathy really for either side. But a blind man can see that long before them Jewish folks were there, right? You had the Palestinians there, and they've been living like they're in prison. They've been living under occupation to a point where, listen, I'm going to bring out some facts for you. These are some facts that most people are not going to talk about. You can't send mail into Palestine without it going through the Israeli government, right? The Israeli government controls all the borders of Palestine. Palestine was there first before them Europeans from the Eastern Bloc. Right. Listen, if you don't like the fact that I'm saying Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are Israelites, right? That Solomon was black, Moses was black, David was black, Christ was black, just turn your phone off. That's all you got to do. It's that simple, right? It's like a black man can say what, again, Songs of Solomon 1:5 says that Solomon was black, right? It says, I am black but calmly meaning beautiful, meaning handsome. But we're going to get back into it. So since 1950, the Palestinians have been living under oppression, right? You can't get any food in. During the COVID lockdowns, the Israeli government wouldn't let any vaccines go to the Palestinians, right? Now, again, we're not trying to give sympathy to the Palestinians because neither of them should be in this land, right? Shariwan, can you get me Zechariah 9:6? And last week you had and this is on the Sabbath, right? This is how you know the Lord is definitely not with that Jewish man. On the Sabbath, you got a missile attack, right, from the Palestinians on Israelis. Right? This is on the Sabbath, right? What were we just doing on the Sabbath? We were closing out a high holy day.
Damn right.
While we were closing out a high holy day, the Lord was attacking a people to claim to be the holy people.
Wow.
Now, if that doesn't scream the Lord is not with you, I don't know what does.
Damn right.
Right? And look, you got to see these comments if you jump on TikTok, right? You got people saying Israel was doing a good thing with not giving COVID vaccine. So listen, while people were dying in Palestine, you have people in these comments say Israel was withholding vaccines for Palestinians, and that was a good thing. Right? Now you understand what kind of people you're dealing with. Right? Again, people are gonna say, now I got a question for you, right? For everybody who's in these comments and listening and has something to say, where they don't like, right? If okay, so I got a question. Is Ukraine, this is my question to everybody in the comments, right? Is Ukraine right? Is Ukraine in the wrong for fighting Russia? With everything Ukraine is going through right now, is Ukraine in the wrong for fighting Russia? Right? I'm gonna just wait for those comments, right? You just type it in. Are they wrong? Yes or no? Someone says yes, someone says it's Russian land, right? So if Ukraine is now, some people are saying Ukraine is right, right? Some people are saying Ukraine's not wrong. Some people are saying Ukraine is right for fighting Russia. Well, if Ukraine is right for fighting Russia, right? Wouldn't Palestine be right for fighting Israel? Right? On one hand, you have Caucasian people saying the Palestinians are terrorists, right? These are the same governments that have dropped bombs on people, on Muslims for the last 20 years, right? And again, we're not trying to we're not seeking sympathy for the other side, but we're just going to give you the truth of this situation, right? You have the people who are in the land who don't belong in the land, and the Lord is seeing that they're being pushed out of the land now, right? And that's on both sides, right? If you're going with a biblical narrative, right, them people who are claiming to be, okay, so Israelis aren't Israelites. They're not the Israelites of the Bible. They're converts. They're Amalek converts from the Byzantine Empire, right? And you just gotta ask these Israelis, listen, who was Amalek in the Bible? And you're gonna find out it goes back to a man named Japheth, right? You're gonna find out they go back to a man named Japheth. When you look at Japheth, he is not Seth. Israelites come from Seth. So again, the Israelis over there don't belong to that land, right? The Palestinians are in the land because the real Jews are not in the land. Salakia, Shariwan, get me Zechariah 9 and 6.
Come. It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 9 and verse 6. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod.
Right, so Shariwan, what is a bastard?
Slack, y'all. It's like an illegitimate son.
Right, it's a child no one wants. Right, a bastard is basically a child that the father does not want. Right, a bastard. Read that one more time, Shariwan.
Come. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod.
Right, now where is Ashdod?
Slack, y'all, for me.
Come.
That's over in the so-called state of Israel.
Right. Ashdod would be talking about the land of Israel. A bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, right? Meaning a child that the Most High did not choose. Now listen, again, we're keeping this strictly biblical, right? You go with the biblical narrative. Everything that is written down in this Bible, we're seeing play out in the earth right now, right? The Bible's undefeated. These prophecies are undefeated. We've known about this war that's happening for so long, right? Commanding General YAHANNA has been teaching us about these wars that are happening within the earth, and we've been seeing it. You can't stop it. Listen, everyone's going to try and stop it. They can't stop nothing about anything that's happening right now. Everyone's going to be praying for peace. Well, listen, to get peace, you need to go to war. You can't get peace without first going to war. So these heathen nations got to go to war if they want peace, right? If you truly believe in who you're fighting for, or you got people who are on the side of free Palestine. Listen, if you're on the side of free Palestine, you might as well get on a plane and go over there. right? Stand 10 toes down on what you believe in. Over here, we're not on Free Palestine or the other side. We're just gonna sit and watch, because all you heathens, all you nations have sat and watched as our nation has died, as our nation has suffered, as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have gone through oppression, and none of you have said nothing. You don't raise the Mexican flag, you don't raise the Jamaican flag, you don't raise the Venezuelan flag, you don't raise the flag for the Native American children that went through residential schools in Canada. So we're not going to do anything. We're just going to chill, right? But a bastard shall dwell in Ashgard. Keep reading, Shaywan.
Come. And I will cut off the pride of the Philistines.
Listen, the pride of the Philistine. For years, Muslims would run up to people who believe in the Bible, right? Especially Israelites. For years, Muslims would run up on us and say, listen, the Bible has contradictions in it. That's Shaywan. That's what they tell us. They tell us our holy scriptures have contradictions in it, right? And they're proud of it. They're proud to tell us this. They're proud to try and convert us to being Muslims, to subject us to being a second-class citizen in their religion.
Come.
That's what they're proud of. Shaywan, read that last part again.
Come. And I will cut off the pride of the Philistines.
The Lord is cutting off the pride of the Philistines, so-called Palestinians, right? The Lord's cutting that pride off. For years, Muslims would tell us that, listen, your Bible is not the truth. When this Bible that we have, the 1611 King James Version of the Bible, it has the prophecies. Listen, if you understood what was happening in this Bible, you wouldn't be so surprised when we heard Palestine sent a barrage of missiles, right, into the so-called land of Israel. We weren't surprised at that because we read the Bible. We understood what was going to happen. We understood still what's happening right now, right? Shaywan, is there anything left in that?
Sir.
Can you give me Deuteronomy 1:30? Right. So again, you see what's happening. That the Lord is definitely not with these nations. You see him. He is Salakia. He's bringing these nations to fight each other. Right. That's exactly what's happening right now. The Lord is bringing these nations to fight each other, and there's nothing you could do about it. You can't stop yourself from going to war with these nations, right? So if you're Black, Hispanic, and Native American, what you should do is get out of their armies, right? Don't be in their armies. Don't think you're going to fight for world peace. World peace is not happening in this kingdom, right? This kingdom has to fall. All the kingdoms of the earth have to fall for the crimes they've committed against Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? I got some questions. Let's see what questions are asking. What about the Ethiopian Bible, which is older? Listen, the Lord said he's going to bring a sword to Ethiopia, right? So, okay, let me see if I can find that for you. Hold up. Shaywan, in a second, find that precept I'm looking for, where it says the Lord will, even the Ethiopians will fall to the sword, be slain by the sword, right? But you can find that after. First, get me Deuteronomy 1:30.
Come, sir. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 30. The Lord your God, which goeth before you, he shall fight for you.
Right. Again, this is why I said earlier, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you don't have to do anything. Listen, we've been oppressed for so long now, and other people are being oppressed, and it's the end of the world. They don't even know how to handle it. We've been handling this for 400, 500 years. This is facts. The so-called Native Americans who were forced to speak Spanish and now are labeled Hispanic, they've been going through oppression for the damn last 500 years. And they've handled it. Right? They've handled it. When their languages were being wiped out, their children were being sold, right? You got people crying right now saying, oh my gosh, children are being killed. Salakia, unalived. I understand I'm on TikTok. Children are being unalived. Well, where was that same feeling? Where was that same sentiment, that same empathy, right? Where was the sympathy for when Hispanic children were being trapped at the Texas-Mexico border? There's parents who haven't been reunited with their children till this day. And this people coming across the border and being stopped in droves happened no less than 2 years ago. And people still haven't been reunited with their children. Right? So all them tears that y'all got, y'all could save that. Because listen, we're not listening. We've been going through it, and you have no tears for us. Right? Slovakia. Hold up. We'll get right back. Sure, you want. You can keep reading.
Come. According to all that he did for you in Egypt before your eyes.
Right. Read that one more time, sure you want.
The Lord your God which goeth before you, he shall fight for you.
Right. The Lord is going to fight for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're watching it right now. We don't have to do. Listen, did you know there was an Arab slave trade? Right. Yeah, I bet y'all didn't know that. Y'all don't know about during the transatlantic slave trade, Arabs were selling so-called Israelites or so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans too. Right? The Arabs were selling so-called black people. The Lord is going to fight for us. These heathen nations have committed crimes against so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and now the Lord is seeing to it that justice is going to be served in the earth. The whole earth doesn't know about justice. That's why you have, now look what's happening. You have Hamas sending missiles into Israel, and they're blowing up everything, right? People were at listen, Shaywan, there was the pride of our oppressor, right? After they oppressed the Palestinians, they were having a party in a field that it's a short few miles away from the Palestinian border. Good night. They got me out of there. Good night, Shaywan. They got us off TikTok.
Already.
Yeah, already. They ain't like that.
Good night.
Listen, I'll have to mess up the whole next side of TikTok as well. I'm gonna have to appeal that after. Right? TikTok got me out of there. It's all good. We'll be back. We had a good peak number, so that was all right. See if I could go back live again. Live suspended. What day are we? Oh, they got me for a couple days. Good night. Well, listen, we doing our job. When TikTok suspends you, you're doing your job. You bringing that truth out. You know they don't want no truth coming out over this internet. And now we're seeing the truth go out over this internet. They are angry. They don't like it. Right? Sure, you want? Were you reading something for me a second ago?
Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 30.
Khan, was that the end of it?
According to
read it
all, Khan, the Lord your God which goeth before you, he shall fight for you. According to all that he did for you in Egypt before your eyes. Let's see another verse.
Right. The Lord fought for us. The Lord fought for us when we were in Egypt. Right? The Lord fought for us when we were in Egypt as we were coming out. He fought for us. He sent plagues. We're watching these. Listen, the same plagues that were happening in Egypt, we're watching these plagues happen right now throughout the earth. right? Them same plagues are happening right now. The Lord is going to fight for us as he fought for us in Egypt, right? There is a bastard in our land that's not supposed to be there. He is not supposed to be there at all. Slovakia, let me just deal with this for a second. He's not supposed to be there. So now we're watching the Lord about to cleanse the land. Sure, you want to keep reading?
Verse 31. And in the wilderness.
Oh, Slovakia, you could drop that. You could drop that. Get me Deuteronomy 9 and 14, Baba Kasha.
Chapter 9 and verse 14.
Okay.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 9, verse 14. Let me alone, that I may destroy them, and blot out their name from under heaven. And I will make of thee a nation mightier.
Slovakia, is that 9 and 14?
Come.
Slovakia, that's not what I'm looking for. Slovakia, get me 9 and 1. 1 second. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. So you want look up not to move your neighbor's landmarking. That's what I'm looking for, right? Because that's what's happening right now. You got a people who are in a land that they're not supposed to be in. You got two groups. They're in a land they're not supposed to be in, right? And one group, both groups say they're God's chosen people, that the Lord is with them, and that their book is the only book that should be read, right? And then you have another people who say they are the people of the Torah, and they're supposed to be upholding themselves to the laws of the Torah and of the Tanakh, right? Well, we're going to show you a law that they're not upholding, right? If you found it, show you one, you can read it.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 19 and verse 14. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark.
Right, hold up. Let me just catch up with you. Show you one.
Said in thine inheritance.
Show you one. Read that one more time. Let me catch up with you.
Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have.
Right. So you're not supposed to remove your neighbor's landmark. Hold up. Right. 1 second. I gotta figure something out. Right. So you're not supposed to remove your neighbor's landmark. When you look at the situation that's happening in so-called Israel, so-called Palestine right now, right? You have Amalekites, so-called Caucasians, who are saying they are the chosen people of the Bible. They went into a land where another people were dwelling, and they started to move their landmarkings, right? A landmarking is a border. It's basically a border, something that listen, if me and Sharyuan were in a field, we'd set up some stones and say, Sharyuan, this is your half of the field, and on this side of the stones is my half of the field, right? Those would be called landmarkings. What the Israelis are doing is they seen a people in the land over there, and they went over there to try to take over the land, and so far they've been successful at trying to take over that land.
Sure.
Right? They've been successful at oppressing the people in that land. Again, we have no dog in the fight. We're not for either side. Well, the side that we're on the side of the Most High. Right? Listen, it's sports season. NFL's back. Basketball's back. Baseball is coming to an end. It's October, right? It's about to be winter. Everyone's going to be going to a bar or in their house, cracking some cans of beer, drinking some strong, right, and placing bets on their phone, right? They're going to be placing bets. Well, it's time to place a sure bet. There's a bet that you should put your bet on, and that is on the nigga God, right? The God of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's who you want to place your bet with, right? It's betting season. Time to make a bet. Make that bet. Place it on a black man named Christ to come and crack that sky. Sure you want?
Slakia, just a quick question: Is do you know if that state of Israel and Palestine is that in the actual land of Israel? Is that all a part of it?
It's damn near on the outskirts, right? So you got the Fertile Crescent, you got a lot of the Middle East, right? Like your Irans, your Kazakhstans, your Saudi Arabias. You have a lot of the Middle East, or so-called Middle East, that was a part of the land of Israel, right? For the 12 tribes and the vast amounts of land that we needed, right? For our cattle and for our farming and stuff like that. So what we're calling Israel is a little stitch. And that's also a good question, Shariwan, because it goes to show you that these heathens, they do not have the Lord with them, nor the Spirit, because they can't even tell what the land of Israel is, right? When you go and look up the Garden of Eden, and you see the borders of the Garden of Eden, and that is the land of Israel today. Right?
Salakia, if I may.
Khan.
Because another point I wanted to bring up too is like that would also be a perfect example to our people, where it's like you can't give your love to other nations and still have enough love for your own people. Because if you're going to sit there and you're going to pray for Palestine, it's like, well, then what about your land? If you're going to sit there and say, pray for Israel, well, what about your land? Like, we're a people without a land. You know what I mean? And if you think you can give your love to them and still love blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're wrong. Because a day is coming when that land's going to be given back to us. And what are you going to do then?
Ooh, that day is coming very soon. That day is coming soon where blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, so-called people of color, the so-called people who went through slavery, went through the transatlantic slave trade, right? Fun facts. It was not fun for us, but it's something that we bring out. The transatlantic slave trade didn't start with so-called Negroes, right? It started with so-called natives, First Nation people, right? And after a while, they came and got the Negroes. Right. Show you on. Were you done with that precept?
Not also.
Sure.
It says, which they of old time have said in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land that the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it.
Right. So again, in old time, lands were given, inheritances were given. Inheritance is the wealth that you leave your child. Our inheritance was the land of Israel. Right now, there's a people that's over there that's not supposed to be there. Right. And they're fighting people and oppressing people. Right. And the people who they're oppressing are not supposed to be there at all either. Right. The real Israelites should be in that land. Where are we? And listen, there's things that we could go into, that we're gonna go into in this book. It's going to give you the proper markings or the signs, or this is a prophecy that we're gonna read that would befall the children of Israel. Right? Salakia. So let me jump to Deuteronomy 28 and jump to the 68th verse. right? Deuteronomy 28 and 68, right? So now again, we're looking at this situation, and you have one group of people calling another group of people terrorists, right? Which is crazy ironic. It's like, listen, our oppressors are hypocrites. Our oppressors are hypocrites. The Canadian government is saying that Hamas is a the Canadian government is saying that Hamas is basically a terrorist organization because they're doing things that are getting children unalived. So because of that, because they're shooting missiles and children are being unalived, Hamas is a terrorist organization, right? That's according to the Canadian government. If that is the case, the Canadian government, listen, the Canadian government is still the same government. It's still the same principal or overseeing body. It hasn't changed, right? The leadership might have changed, but it's still the same body. If Hamas is a terrorist organization for the crimes they've committed against Israel, the Canadian government is a terrorist organization for the crimes they've committed against the children of Gad, so-called North American natives, so-called indigenous people, for the crimes the Canadian government has committed against so-called North American Indians, so-called North American natives or First Nation or indigenous people with their children, and putting thousands of their children into residential schools to be abused and raped, to be abused and tortured, right? The Canadian government would also be a terrorist organization, right? Again, these are the signs of the times. These are the Lord is a little closer. He is bringing Israel closer. These heathen nations are gathering together, right? You got the Israelis saying they're the Israelites and they don't match up to anything, right? They got a lot of support. Again, they get 3.8 billion. Biden just signed a act that's giving them 3.8 billion annually. Yearly, they're going to get 3.8 billion. Right? Now that is a lot of money for a sitting American president to give to a nation that's not America. Right? This is Deuteronomy 28. Give me one moment. Slovakia. All right, so I'm back. We're back at it. All right, so there's people in the land, right? Shariwan, can you get us Deuteronomy 28 and 68, Baba Kasha?
Concert.
So, okay, just read that for a second. If I'm not back in time, just break it down.
Concert, no sweat. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Right? So you got to understand, if you're Black, Hispanic, or Native American, this was a curse for disobeying the Most High. Right? It said in Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1 that if you listen, you obey me, then all these blessings will come upon you. He said in verse 15, if you disobey me, then all these curses shall come upon you. And you see Blacks, as Officer Zabadi was saying earlier, right? The first slave trade, it wasn't full of just Blacks, right? That first slave trade, Salaki, was the natives, was the North American Indians. You understand? Back in the 1400s, the scripture is saying that ye shall, Salakia, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Right?
Hey, Shar, you on Thuata.
I understand.
Right? Shar, you on, can you read that verse one more time?
Come on, sir. It's Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Right. The Lord is going to bring Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, Israelites, into Egypt again with ships. We never left Egypt in ships. We walked out of it. So this is clearly not talking about going into Egypt. This is something else. Right? Egypt, according to the Greeks, means house of bondage. You can keep reading.
Come. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Right. Now, this is where I wanted to stop right here. Listen, what that is talking about specifically is Moses was with the children of Israel, right? We were coming into our land. We're in the land, and Moses is saying, listen, if we don't keep the commandments of the Most High, we're going into slavery. We're going into bondage again with ships, and our homeland, we're not going to see it. That does not fit the people in Israel right now. It does not, right? This prophecy that's going to befall the children of Israel, it didn't fit that. Amalekites never went into 400, 500 years of slavery with ships, right? Where they wouldn't see their homeland again. There is a people, though, that haven't seen their homeland, that haven't seen the land of Israel since they've had to flee Roman oppression, right? So-called people of color, so-called people who went through slavery, right? Who went through slavery at the hands of Europeans. Keep reading, Shar, you want?
Come. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
Right. Again, this is talking about what's going to happen to the Israelites. They were sold onto their enemies. They haven't gotten help, right? Again, America gives Israelis, the state of Israel, $3.8 billion annually. They got a lot of support. Go through oppression, right? They're being oppressed by the Israelis, and they're getting a lot of support. You can't move throughout the city of Toronto without seeing a protest or a counter protest, right? You'll see Palestinians protesting Free Palestine. You'll see Israelis protesting across the street from them. And listen, there's things being thrown. I watched a video earlier today. Someone threw a bottle, right? It looked like a milk jug. Like, you know, you go to a Becker's or Max, right? It looked like those milk jug bottles. It looks like someone threw that at this woman, right? And the bottle came from the Israeli side. But again, according to our oppressor, the Israelis aren't doing anything wrong, right? And Palestine is terrorist. But I ask you again, if Palestine is terrorist for unaliving children on their attack in Israel, would that mean the Canadian government is also terrorist for kidnapping or taking of Native American children and putting them in residential schools in the tune of the thousands. Right? Not too long ago, 2 years ago, they were digging up the bones of unalive children. So would that mean Canada is also a terrorist? Does the Canadian government now have to look at themselves and say, listen, we've done wrong. If we're going to call the Palestinians terrorists, we got to look at ourselves and call ourselves terrorists. Right? And no one else is going to say that. Listen, not too long ago, Kanye told us that, listen, now this is something we already knew, right? For the most part, that America, that media conglomerates are run by one set of people. And it is no coincidence that the media is calling one set of people terrorists for unaliving children, but the other side that's been unaliving children is not terrorists. Right? Shaiwan, can you get me Ezekiel 39 and 20?
Come.
Ezekiel 39 and 20. And then we're going to go into something else. Oh, Shaiwan, before you do that, there was a precept I was asking for earlier. Did you find it?
I have one other one, but I don't think it's the one you're looking for.
What was it?
The specific one you're looking for, I think, is in either Psalms or Isaiah, but I couldn't find those verses.
Con, what do you have right now?
I have one in Slovakia, Jeremiah 42 and 17.
What's that say? You can read it.
It said, Jeremiah chapter 42 and 17, it says, so shall it be with all the men that set their faces to go into Egypt to sojourn there. They shall die by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. And none of them shall remain.
No, I'm not looking for that. I'm not looking for that one. Right? You could just drop it. I'll figure it out after. But can you get me what did I just ask for? I asked for Ezekiel 39 and 20.
So the book of Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 20. It says, thus ye shall be filled at my table with horses and chariots, with mighty men, and with all men of war, saith the Lord God.
Keep going, is that it?
Verse 21. And I will set my glory among the heathen, and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them.
The Lord is going to set his judgment against the heathens for the crimes they've committed. Okay, hold up. I'm just looking for something. Salakia. Bear with me, Shaiwan. Give me a moment.
Okay.
Hold up. Bear with me. Good night. Why the hell is that doing that? Right. One thing I like about the book of Ezekiel, when you read it, there are prophecies in there that your Christian pastor is not going to be able to explain. All right. Can you read Ezekiel 39 and 20 one more time?
Come. Verse 20. Thus ye shall be filled at my table with horses and chariots, with mighty men, and with all men of war, saith the Lord God.
Right. Listen, there's going to be graves in the land of Israel from the heathen, because this is war. The Most High is going to war with these heathens. Right. The Most High is going to war with these heathen nations for the crimes they've committed, against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right. That's why we're seeing this situation being as volatile as it is right now. It's a very volatile situation. You're starting to notice, if you haven't noticed, just look around your grocery store. There's things flying off the shelves. The shelves are being emptied out in the grocery stores. Heathens are about to go into panic mode, right? Nations are choosing sides. You have Canada, America, and Britain and the UK on the side of Israel, right? You have Russia, China. Also, you have Iran and the Taliban. They're about to take the side of Palestine, right? And this is all gearing up to the Third World War, right? The third woe. The first two destructions have already happened. This is gearing up to the third one, where these heathen nations are going to fight each other. They're going to fight each other. And as they start fighting each other, right, we just got to sit back and do nothing. Do not join their armies. Do not pray for them, right? It's crazy. You see Christians be all up in the church and all up on social media talking about pray for Palestine, pray for Israel, right? And it's like, why are we going to do that as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? We're not going to do any of that. We're just going to chill. That's all we need to do. We just need to sit back. You know what blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans need to do most importantly, right? What's most important right now is we need to gather together. Right. Gather together and keep the laws of the God of Israel, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right? Shariwan, can you bring us into Isaiah 32? Right? Because as these Isaiah 13:2, as these heathen nations begin to fight each other, and as war happens within the earth, as these heathen nations begin to fight each other and war happens within the earth, we got to come together, because they're going to be fighting each other. And one thing they always do is they're not going to have any love for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? You can see that because they don't have love for us now. They don't have, outside of when we sing and dance for them, there's no love for us, right? And unless we could entertain them, there's absolutely no love for us, right? So we got to gather together. It's about to be the earth is about to go through a time of bloodshed, right? Where the whole earth is fighting, and we need to gather together. Every other nation is gathering together right now. They're getting themselves together. They're getting themselves together for war. They're getting themselves together because they understand self-preservation. This is something we don't, as black folks, as Hispanics and Native Americans, we don't understand that. What we were taught was give all our love to the people who oppress us. Give all our love to the people who don't like us, who have nothing good for us, who haven't helped us. Like, they absolutely haven't helped us, did anything, said anything, haven't lifted a finger. You will not see a single protest from a heathen nation in downtown Toronto or downtown whatever major city you're in from a heathen nation for the well-being and treatment of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You're not going to see it. There's not going to be anyone that's going to be like, hey, like, okay, when has anybody ever seen Israelis protest and say, hey, y'all been shooting the black folks a lot. Y'all been beating them into the ground, planting drugs on them, giving them cases that are absolutely ridiculous, charging them out of their mind for bail. You've never heard no Jewish person say that, right? You listen. B'nai B'rith tried to stop Commanding General YAHANNA from coming to Canada, right? Try to stop all of our functions. Anytime we have an event or something where we're educating our people, right? And they try to stop us from doing it. If we put out a flyer right now, it says we're going to be in this space, it could be somewhere we're paying for. The people who own that place are going to get an anonymous call that says you're harboring a hate group. And it's going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? We're asking B'nai B'rith, why do you keep trying to oppress black people? Why are you trying to stop the I.S.U.P.K everywhere we go? Right? That's what they're doing. Salakia, Shayuan, can you get Do you have Isaiah 13:2?
Come.
Is that what I asked for? Yeah, that's what I asked for. Can you get that when you have it?
Come. The book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 2. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles.
Right. This describes the I.S.U.P.K to a core. Right. While groups are trying to physically stop us from doing the simple things like teaching black people to love each other, right? We're exalting the voice. Show you want to read that one more time?
Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain.
We're lifting up a banner on the high mountain. The banner that, listen, if you're on TikTok, what you're seeing in my background is that banner, right? You see us at camp. We have the shield. The shield, it says I.S.U.P.K, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, right? And it says the Lord's name. And it is also going to say our King Yahushua's name, right? That's the banner that we're lifting up, right? Because we're in one accord with the Lord, right? We understand that we have to obey his commandments. Keep reading, Shaywan.
Exalt the voice unto them.
Exalt the voice.
Hand.
That's what we're doing right now. That's what we do at camp. We exalt the voice onto them. We go into the governments, right? We go into these streets. We go into meetings, and we speak about the oppression and the things that are happening to blacks, Hispanics, and Native American. And this verse, Salakia, keep reading, Shaywan.
Come. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles.
Right, we do that. We go into the highways and the byways, right? The nobles, talking about the people who are in power. We go into those spaces. We are outside, and we're the ones that are shaking things up and telling blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who they are. And because of that, organizations like B'nai B'rith hate us, right? You've never seen B'nai B'rith come out and say, Canada, you are dead wrong for giving $8 billion to Ukraine. You won't see B'nai B'rith say that. You're dead wrong for giving $8 billion to Ukraine while you have Native Americans sleeping in the sidewalks, in the highways and byways in your major cities, while you have them on reservations without clean drinking water. Like, you won't see that, right? What you will hear, though, this is something you're going to hear, right? You're going to hear Canadians say, or the Canadian government say, we're not able to give Native Americans clean drinking water because there's no one to run the plants. Well, listen, we just watched you give $8 billion to Ukraine, right? You could give $1 billion to a bunch of people to send them up north or into these reservations to go work in these water facilities, right? Look at a province like Edmonton or Alberta, right? If they fly people in regularly to work in their oil fields, they'll fly you in for 3 weeks, you work, and you take 3 weeks off. They're making big bank, so they're able to do that. $18 billion is big bank, right? They could have had a bunch of, the Canadian government could have had people on these reserves working while simultaneously training people in the community to take over those facilities. But according to the Canadian government, they don't have anybody to work in those facilities. They had the money to see that it happened, but they just decided they're not going to give it to them. And then apparently the money just appears when it's time to give it to Ukraine. Right, show you want. Keep reading.
Verse 3. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger.
Right. Okay, show you want. Read that one more time. Let's get into this.
I have commanded my sanctified ones.
Right. What is the Lord saying here? The Lord is saying he's commanded his sanctified ones. Who are his sanctified? That would be the Israelites, right? That would be his chosen people. We're not talking about the people dropping Salakia. I'm trying to say, how do you say this for TikTok, right? We're not talking about the people who just went and leveled and sieged the Gaza Strip. That's not the Lord's chosen people. That's not them, right? That can never be them. They're supposed to be the people of prophecy who went back into the land of Israel, but now there's bloodshed over there, right? You would have to understand that the Lord is not with them, right? Because if they've already made it back into the land and it's supposed to be a good time now, that means nothing is supposed to befall them where it's going to be a danger for their people, because they're the Lord's chosen people and he put them back in their land, right? But what we're finding out is they're full of crap. They're identity theft, right? They've committed fraud. Sure, you want to keep reading?
I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger.
Right, meaning, listen, he's talking about the men in the UPK. He's called the mighty ones for his anger, right? His anger is he's angry at the sins the heathen nations are committing in the earth. He's angry for the pollution that is happening in the land of Israel. Like, the land of Israel is polluted. The heathens are over there. There's a people claiming they're supposed to be there that they're not there. Them same people are going and leveling and sieging the Gaza Strip, right? Again, we have no dog in the fight, and we're not choosing any side, right? We're not choosing a side. What we're doing is we're going to choose the Most High, the Lord and the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And in doing so, we're going to sit back and watch and gather ourselves together and watch these heathens go to war. Right? What is the Lord doing? He's showing he's angry at these nations. All right. Sure, you want to keep reading?
Okay. Even them that rejoice in my highness.
Which verse were you reading?
Oh, Salak, the other one.
Khan, you were reading verse 3. I caught up with you. Read the last part one more time. I have also.
Khan. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger.
Right. We're seeing the Lord's anger now. He's called the mighty ones, meaning the men who fill up the ranks of the UPK. He's called us for his anger. We go out and speak his words and let the people know what's going on, and we interpret the prophecies. Listen, seeing Palestine strike Israel, and Israel come back and say they're going to take vengeance. Right? Wait, listen, Israel. I thought vengeance was the Lord's. I thought it was supposed to be the Lord who was going to take vengeance. But this is the pride of our oppressor. They're so prideful that they want to take the vengeance instead of letting the Lord do it. Right? Listen, the Lord has called his mighty ones for his anger. We've heard the anger and seen the anger of every other god in the earth. Right? All the idols and gods that man exalts over the Most High. We've seen that anger. We've seen it. We've seen people talk about it. We've heard about it so much. Right? Now, when I say we've seen it, I'm not saying that their gods exist or their gods are capable of anything. But we've seen people exalt revenge or take revenge in the name of their gods. Right? Right now, we're watching the one true God, the one true power in the earth, exalt his power over these heathen nations. And these people who are saying they're the Lord's chosen or they're holy or they have power in the earth, they haven't been able to stop it. They haven't been able to stop it one bit. They haven't been able to do anything about what's happening, right? They've been now, okay, they could go and drop bombs and shoot missiles, right? But this is a war that's been going on for decades, since the 50s, right? 50 till 2000 is 50 years. We're now in 2023. That's damn near 73 years of fighting. You got Palestinian children waking up in situations that they have no idea why this situation is happening. Right? You got oppressors. They were having a big party. You seen Hamas run across the field and just start kidnapping Amalekites or taking unwillfully Amalekites, so-called Jewish people, just taking them, bringing them back into Palestine. And now you have Caucasians saying that that's an act of terrorism. Well, again, we have to ask, if taking people unwillfully is an act of terrorism, America, did you commit terrorism when you took so-called blacks from Africa? When you took so-called Hispanics and Native Americans from their reserves, from their lands, and put them into reserves? When you took California and Texas and Arizona from Mexico, was that a crime? Right? Shariwan, you can keep reading. Bring us into verse 4.
Come. It's like it. Verse 4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
Right. So what you're finding out is the Lord is gathering these heathen nations. Again, we earlier I gave a breakdown of the nations that are teaming up. You're gonna start to see as the earth keeps spinning, as the sun rises and the moon, Salakia, as the sun sets and rises, right? As day falls into night, you're going to see oppressors and heathens alike start to choose side. You're already seeing Canada and America are on one accord with the backing of Israel, right? UK is also falling in line with them, while Russia, China, and Iran, right, are starting to choose Palestine. Everyone's going to pair off and start to go to war. Okay, they call that area where the fighting is, it's the Valley of Jehoshaphat, right? where there's going to be fighting. Heathens are getting the hooks are in their backs right now and pulling them into the war, pulling them to battle each other. Sure, you want to read that one more time?
Come, verse 4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people. A tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of
Right.
hosts.
It's a tumultuous noise of the nations gathered together. Right. That noise they're making, it is going to get louder and louder. You're about to hear these nations crying. I was watching on I think it was YouTube, one of these YouTube clips or one of these blogs. They had a Palestinian woman. She was crying and tearing up, right? She was cutting all the way up over one of her children missing, presumably unalive, at the hands of Israel. Right? Israel went in and damn near carpet bombed or carpet. They did it carpet style, dropped a lot of things in that Gaza Strip. Right? And children are dying, but you won't see the oppressors say, "Hey, Palestinian children are dying." It's as if those children don't matter, right? And this is something. This should be nothing new. I guess to the heathens, it's new because they haven't gone through that, right, Shariwan? To the heathens, this is something new. If you're us, if you're on that 12 tribe chart under our pictures right now on YouTube, right? If you are of Negro, Hispanic, or First Nation descent, right? People coming for our children is nothing new. Our children being unalived is nothing new. We've gone through that pain so much, and we just deal with it, right? We've gone through it for about 400 to 500 years, and we just deal with it. Show you one. What's left in that verse? You can keep reading if you got some more.
Come. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
Right. The Lord of hosts is bringing these nations to the battle. Right. If you're wondering what is happening in the so-called Middle East right now, it's biblical prophecy. Now, I understand your pastor had you celebrating Thanksgiving in Canada on Sunday, and he wasn't telling you about what is coming next. Well, what's coming next is, if you're Negro descent, Hispanic, or Native American, it's time to gather with Negro, Hispanic, and Native American, because what's coming next is surely about to shake these kingdoms to its core. Right? These kingdoms are going to war. The dollars are falling. The housing and the rent is up. Right? You're going to see chaos in these streets as these nations start to gear up and get ready for the war, get ready for the battle. Right? What we need to do is just gather together and watch. This is going to be. Listen, combine all the greatest TV series or crime, drama, thriller TV series that you could think of. Combine all of them together, right? And it's not going to be greater than the show we're watching right now, live, in real time. We're watching. Listen, I remember in high school studying World War I and II and reading all the things that led up to it. And now we get to watch it happen in real time. This is a glorious time to be alive. Like Drake and Future had that album, What a Time to Be Alive. They'd be like, what a time, right? It's an amazing time to be alive, where we get to watch the beginnings of World War III. And listen, this is a excellent thing for Negro, Hispanic, and Native Americans. Now you're gonna ask why. Why would war be an excellent thing for Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans? One is, we don't have to go to war. We don't have to lift a finger. We don't have to do anything. It's nothing. These heathens are going to fight each other. Look at Ukraine and Russia. Go to a white on white crime. Caucasian on Caucasian crime, right? And just remember, Shaywan, every time we're going through something or we talk about police unaliving us, they say, what about Negro on Negro crime? And now we get to watch a little bit of Caucasian on Caucasian crime. Devil on devil violence. Like, that's what it is, Shaywan.
Yeah.
Right? Shaywan, bring us to verse 5.
Come.
Again, this is Isaiah 13, and we're in the 5th verse right now. We're breaking down this conflict between Israel and Hamas. Right? It's an age-old conflict. It's been going on for decades. It's not going to stop. It's leading into the world's third woe, right? The world's third destruction, or so-called World War III, WW3. Sure, you want to keep reading?
Come. Verse 5. They come from a far country.
These men are coming, these people are coming from a far place, a far off place, right? That's what's happening. You've just seen, Shariwan, they sent a battleship. The United States of America sent a battleship, a whole battleship. Listen, it felt like, the game Battleship. They sent a battleship, and the world's largest aircraft carrier has all the fixings, has everything you need to go to war over there, and they don't even have to get to the shore. They just got to be in the neighborhood, right? They just got to be 200 miles out, 400 miles out. They don't have to be close at all.
Right?
They sent that.
I think they said the U.S. that ship they sent out there was the largest battleship in the world, and that shit's got all the bells and whistles.
All the bells and whistles, Shariwan. The largest battleship in the world. The U.S. The U.S. sent it across the seas. Right. Listen, the U.S. I'm just reading the comments. Listen, some of these comments are not worth responding to sometimes, so I rarely respond to them. But say something worth responding to, and I'll respond. If not, you don't have to watch. You can just click out. It is a free internet. So you don't have to stay on the channel, right? Good night. But listen, they sent the world's largest battleship. Again, you cannot stop these prophecies. These are biblical prophecies that are happening thousands of years ago that are playing out in real time for us. In real time, we're watching it. We're watching it live. Like you're watching this live right now. We're watching these prophecies play out in real time. Sure, you want to read that one more time?
Come. Verse 5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven.
Keep reading.
Even the Lord.
Keep reading.
And the weapons of his indignation, to destroy the whole land.
Right. So these heathens are coming from afar, right? They're going to fight each other, right? They're assembling right now. And we have the best weapon ever. And we're not even in the fight right now. We have the best weapon. These heathens are getting weapons. Listen, there's a whole space program. They have a space program, right? It's a Star Wars program started by Ronald Reagan, right? And listen, he started this program because they wanted to have arms in space to protect from some entity outside of this planet, right? And when Ronald Reagan made the space program, he told Gorbachev, he said, "Listen, we can continue bickering, but I'm just gonna loosely paraphrase what he's saying. He told them they could continue bickering between each other, but sooner or later they're gonna have to come together to fight off an entity that's not from here, and that's why they need a space program, right? The Most High is gathering these nations from afar, right? Read that last part again, Shariwan.
Okay. and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land.
Right. Again, there are people that are in that land that are not supposed to be there. He's using his weapons to destroy them. Listen, these heathen nations, they're making rockets, they're making nukes, they got jets and tankers and carrier ships, the best carrier ship and the largest carrier ship in the world. They have it, but none of that compares to what the Most High has. None of that compares. We watched the earth go through plagues for the last 3 years. Like straight up and down, just go through plagues. Right? And no one can stop it. They tried for months to try to figure out that COVID-19 vaccine situation. Right? And they would make a vaccine, and then the COVID would come back out the gym, said, listen, I'm brolic again. I got brothers, and he would have a whole different version. That COVID vaccine was doing that, was basically bait and switching everybody. Where at one point they think they have it under control, and then another variant comes out and another variant, and by the time we looked up, there was almost 10, 20 variants running around the earth to and fro, causing destruction and havoc. Right? So again, we need to gather together and assemble ourselves. The heathen nations are being assembled and they're being bid to the battle. Right? Sure, you want to read verse 6?
Khan. How will ye? For the day of the Lord is at hand.
Stop right there. What is that howl, sure you want?
Salakia, that's like it's like thanking the Most High.
No, that's not what that is right here, right? Read it one more time, sure you want?
How will ye?
Right. Continue reading.
For the day of the Lord is at hand.
So what that is talking about, it's talking about a groan, a cry, a painful cry, right? When heathens, and listen, for the brothers, a brother like Amari Stoudemire, that nigga a hoe, straight up and down. He a hoe, right? He is all types of being prostituted out. Got the spirit of his oppressor to a point where he said, F black people because we're not speaking up about the Israel-Hamas situation.
God.
And you go to look for Amari Stoudemire. When did he speak up for Sandra Bland? When did he speak up for Salakia? When did he speak up for Trayvon Martin? When did he speak up for the so-called Hispanic children trapped at the border who have not been reunited with their fathers, right? But because he has a love for an oppressor that played a part in our slavery, he's saying F black people because we're not speaking up for a people that is never spoken up for us. Right? Listen, you want to tell me all lives matter? Go tell that to the Lord. Clearly that whatever you're thinking matters is not what's happening. Right? The Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob doesn't think all lives matter, or he wouldn't have that situation that we're talking about right now happen. Right? Show you one. Where were we? You can continue reading.
Come. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty.
Read that one more time, show you one from the top.
Come, sir. How will ye? For the day of the Lord is at hand.
The day of the Lord is at hand. Right? The destruction, the judgment that this earth is going to go through, that the heathens are going to go through, it's at hand. Clearly, now listen, Allah is definitely not with the Palestinians. right? You gotta ask if Allah the merciful, how he not being merciful to his own people? Where is the mercy? We serve blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We serve a terrible power. The heathens would call our Lord a terrible power. Look at the destruction he has going on throughout the earth right now. Because heathens don't follow the Most High. Right? The day of the Lord is at hand. You're going to see, Salakia, wars start to happen more. You're going to see more skirmishes happen. You're going to see more tragedies go on through the earth, right? We're watching, it's damn near like every week something is on fire or some earthquake is happening, right? Every week something's on fire, some earthquake's happening, and it's not being, and no one has the answers. Everyone with all their books don't have the answers. Well, we have the answers. The Lord is angry with the earth and the people in the earth right now, and he's plaguing the crap out of it. He's bidding these heathen nations to battle. World War III is happening. If you haven't heard it before, it's happening. It's going to happen. You're hearing it now. Sure, you want to keep reading?
Come. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty.
Right. When we see the rockets, right? We see the rockets and the handling of war, right? We see those rockets going off. That's the destruction that the Most High is talking about. Right? We're seeing all this stuff happen. We're seeing oppressors get ready to fight in space. We're watching as a ground group took over the controls of not to say space stations, but weapons in space. Now again, why do our oppressors need weapons in space? Is it because they know they're going to have to fight someone in space or some entity coming out of space, right? And when we go into this Bible, we find out that the same way a black man named Christ left is the same way a black man named Christ is going to come back, and that's through the clouds. Now, I know y'all want to be like, listen, he believes in spooky mumbo jumbo. Well, as soon as y'all explain how COVID came into the earth and monkeypox right after, right? And how Hawaii's on fire and all these earthquakes and how Canada was on fire, right? You'll be able to say, or you'll be able to listen. You're not going to be able to explain it. I'm wasting my time even trying to tell you how to explain it. You're not going to be able to explain it because you don't have the answers. You don't know what you're looking for. Your pastor, your imam, your Catholic priest, or your, so I can show you one. What do they call them? What do they call the little hats? The people who are in the synagogue for the little hats. Rabbis. I got it. Rabbis.
Oh, rabbis come.
Right. None of those people have the answers. If you want the answers, you should just tune into this channel or any UPK channel, Black Watch, Cross the Line Radio, and you'll get the answers. You said Canada burns every year. Why does Canada burn every year? See, again, people say things and they don't. You're saying such a generic comment. Yeah, Canada burns every year, but why? Why? Now that you said that, smart guy, tell me why it burns. Like, y'all just saying anything, right? And since Canada burns every year, and you're the smart guy, and you understand that Canada burns every year, what? Because the forest is dry. Again, you can say it's because the forest is dry. You can say it's because some Caucasian is out there smoking a cigarette or getting high, right? What it really comes down to is because of the Lord, right? So the forest is dry, and then it's not dry, and then it just stops burning. You have one person saying the forest is dry. You have a next person saying global warming. Well, which answer is it? Is it the forest dry or is it global warming? Right? Now again, you're gonna say the forest is dry. Now explain COVID. How did COVID come? How did COVID get here? How did monkeypox get here? How did Hawaii get on fire? Let me guess, Hawaii was dry too, so it just went on fire, right? How did Libya have the earthquake? Right? Why did Hamas shoot rockets into Israel, God's chosen people, right? God, I'm gonna give you the air quotes, God's chosen people, right? Well, we understand that them Jewish people aren't God's chosen people. But since you know everything, explain why rockets went off into God's chosen people, right? And exactly is what I'm saying. Who cares? You're saying who cares? Well, Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we don't care. It's just something for us to wake up to. It's something for us to talk about, so we can talk and teach our people that the Lord is on His way. But Shar, you want to keep reading? Can you bring us to verse 7?
Come. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt.
Right. You just watch the news. Go on YouTube right now. And you could just type in Israel, Hamas. You could just type in Hamas. You could type in Palestine, and you're going to see people freaking out. Their hearts are melting. They thought it was good a week ago, right? Them Israelis, they're having a party on the Sabbath, right? They did not do it in their city. They had a party on the Sabbath, doing all manners of evil at that party, right? Did you know Israel has the largest LGBTQ? This is supposed to be God's chosen people, the Amalekites, right? They have the largest LGBTQ party in the earth. And that's supposed to be God's chosen people. The Lord is upset. He's plaguing the earth. And I understand a lot of you simpletons don't understand what is happening. Your pastors never explained it to you. Your holy men never explained it to you. Right? Sure, you want to read that one more time?
Come. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt.
And listen, the people who are, everyone's saying free Palestine or pray for Israel, right? Your hearts are faint. Your hearts are faint, and Salakia, let's get back to that, right? All their hands shall be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, right? You're seeing the destruction, and y'all thought it was never going to happen. So many of you think that, listen, you're just going to continue to live how you're living, and nothing's going to happen. You're not going to have to worry about anything at all, right? That's what you think is going to happen, and then you see the destruction happening around you, and now you're weak. You're crying in the streets, right? And this is the pain that the heathens have to go through for the crimes they've committed, for the sins they've committed, for the idols that they worship. Yeah. Right? So let's get to verse 8. Shariwan, you can read verse 8 when you're ready.
Come, sir. Verse 8. And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them.
A person asks, why won't Egypt help take the Gaza civilians? Because they're afraid. It's that simple. They're afraid, right? But don't worry, the every nation will be getting involved soon, right? The Wired, every nation will be getting in soon. You don't have to worry at all, right? Depending on what your nation is, you might be getting involved soon as well. You want to know why Egypt is not getting involved? Worry about your nation. Your nation might be getting involved very soon. Show you one. Was that the end of verse 7?
And the verse 7, come on, sir.
Read
I mean,
verse
verse
8.
8. Come on, sir. And they shall be afraid. Pangs and
Right, and they
sorrows.
shall be afraid. Keep reading.
Come on, come. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them.
Keep reading.
They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth.
Right. Listen, you are watching. Just go watch these news clips. Again, I'm chilling. I'll be sitting back with a good drink of strong, right, and just be watching, right. Like, yeah, y'all remember? Show you one. You remember History Channel?
Come on, sir.
You remember how History Channel they'll show those old black and white footages of World War II, of World War One?
Come on, sir.
That's what this is right now in real time, but it's in color. We don't have to wait 20 years for History Channel to put all that stuff in color. Sometimes you see that commercial where History Channel will be like, listen, we got old footage that is finally in color for the first time. We're watching the footage right now in color for the first time, and it's live. And people are going through pains and sorrows. They don't even understand how to deal with the pain of what they're seeing or the trauma they're going through right now. All that pain that they're going through, right? Like a woman going into labor. You ever heard a woman go into labor? She is screaming. Screaming.
Right.
Right? And that's what these heathen nations are doing right now. They're screaming. Again, I told you I seen a Palestinian woman crying. I seen a Palestinian father. He was holding his daughter, and she looked like she wasn't with him no more. I'm gonna say it like that because we are on TikTok, right? He was holding the body of his daughter, and she looked like she gave up the ghost. Like she gave up her fight, and she was done. And he was in pain. You can hear the pain as he shrieks online. You see them Israelis, they're crying, they're not spitting on people no more. Salakia Shariwan. The Israelis are not walking down the streets of Israel spitting on people. You used to see them walk down the streets of the churches, walk down the streets by the churches of the Christians, right? Because there's Christians in the land of Israel, and they would be spitting on them. I seen a clip of a bunch of little. Listen, these kids look like they're no less than 8. Some woman was out there talking, and these little boys around grown men adults are spitting in this woman's face. And them little boys ain't spitting no more. Right now they're scared. They're clutching their mother's pearls, clutching those dresses, right? Clutching their father's black suit, holding on to it for dear life as they wonder, when is the ringing going to stop? When is the bombs going to stop? They're wondering, where is their next meal coming from? They're wondering, is this building going to come down on their head right now? Right? So that's what's happening. Both Israel and Palestine don't belong in that land. Meaning the so-called Israelis, Caucasians, and the so-called sons of Ishmael, they don't belong in that land. It's not for them. That was the land of the Israelites, the true Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American people. Right? Show you one. Keep reading.
Come on, come. Pains and sorrow shall take hold of them.
Keep reading.
They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth.
Read.
They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames.
Right. So they're going to be in pain. They're going to be angry. They don't know what to do. Their faces is filled with pain. Right. They're filled with anger. Again, Israel, the Israelis said vengeance is theirs. I thought vengeance was the Lord's. And this is how you know who follows the Torah and who doesn't. Right. They said they're going to take vengeance. They're going to make sure that they take vengeance on the Palestinians for what the Palestinians did. And the Palestinians, listen, if you, again, none belong there. I don't have a dog in the fight. I could damn near care less. It's something for me to talk about, to fish my brothers and sisters into the school, to wake them up so they don't go into the oppressors' armies to go fight for people who've never fought for us. Right? We're watching a people go through pain and sorrow, right? And their faces are angered. They want vengeance. They're hot with vengeance. Right. Keep reading.
Come. Verse 9. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh. Cruel both
Behold,
with wrath.
the day of the Lord cometh. The Lord is on his way. His day is on his way. It is going to be a time when people are just going to start dropping like flies because of the war and all the things that are happening in the earth. The day of the Lord is coming. There's a time coming where the Lord is going to get his vengeance for everything that the heathens have done, especially everything y'all have done to so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right? For everything. For the dope that's in our communities, for the slavery, the oppression, right? And I know everyone, listen, for the most part, most people are only concerned about themselves, right? Most people are only concerned about themselves. They could care less what is happening to the so-called Negro, Hispanic, or First Nation people. Sure, you want to keep reading?
Come. Cruel both with wrath and fierce anger.
Right. The day of the Lord is coming. It's coming cruel with wrath and fierce anger. You seen all them earthquakes. You see all the forest fires. Someone tried to tell me earlier forest fires are happening because it's dry. All right, cool. It's dry outside. If you want to keep believing that, what I know is them forest fires started in Kamloops, started in the West. A lot of them started in the West, where so-called Native American children went through residential schools. This is in Canada. Canada put Native American children in residential schools and they were abused. The Canadian government is no worse than Hamas, who they're trying to condemn. The Canadian government is trying to condemn Hamas for the unaliving of Israeli children when the Canadian government has unalived Native American children. Right? And that's to show you the hypocrisy of the Canadian government. Sure, you want to keep reading?
Come. To lay the land desolate.
The Most High is laying that land desolate. He's clearing it out for us. In the time of Moses, we had to go clear it out for ourselves. Now we don't. The Most High is going to clear it out for us. We don't have to do anything. He's going to make these nations fight. Right? He's going to make these nations fight. The Israelis have been oppressing Palestine for decades. But the Palestinians are still in land that doesn't belong to them. Right? The Most High is going to clear that land out. I know y'all don't want to believe, but if y'all don't believe it, who cares? It doesn't matter. That doesn't make this truth not the truth. Right? Nor whose land? You're saying, I'm not even sure if that's how I'm gonna say nor, right? Nor whose land is it? Is it the Israelis? Is it the Palestinians? Or is it the real Israelites' land? Like whose land is it? Show you one. What were you just reading?
Answer. I'm in verse 9.
Keep reading.
Con. And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
Right. Listen. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob told us there's only one God. Every other nation has their own God. Worshipping that God is sinning against the Most High. Right? Show you one. Read that last part again.
Con. And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
That land that we're talking about is being destroyed. Y'all been trying to figure out why this war is going on and why they could never come to peace. Why they could just never come to peace. Now, given the Israelis are oppressing the hell out of them, right? And Palestine just wants to be free. Listen, them Palestinians would probably go with the domination of them if they were just left alone. Right? They'll probably pay tribute. They'll pay taxes if they were just left alone. But they're not going to be left alone because the Most High does not want it. Listen, why hasn't Allah left the Palestinians alone? Y'all make it make sense. Answer that question. As soon as y'all answer that question, y'all figure everything out. Why hasn't Allah left the Palestinians alone? Why hasn't the God of Israel left the Israelis alone? Why is there so much bloodshed? Y'all don't have the answer yet? I'm waiting. Y'all got the answers for everything else, right? Y'all be in these comments. I see you. Y'all ain't dropped no roses yet. Y'all ain't dropped no roses in this TikTok, right? I see y'all got the likes up, but y'all ain't dropped no roses. And I'm dropping all this wisdom on you, and we're trying to figure out why isn't Allah or the God of Israel helping the Hamas or the Israelis? I'm quite sure, listen, Nor, I'm quite sure the Israelis woke up this morning and said, we are surely in hell. Right? I'm quite sure there's a few Israelis that are kidnapped and being held captive or being held against their will from the Palestinians, and they're saying things like, surely we're in hell. Hey, Shaiwan, can you keep reading? We got a few more precepts and then we're gonna get out of here.
Concert. Verse 10. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light.
Right. Read that one more time, Shaiwan.
Concert. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light.
Keep reading, Shaiwan.
The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine.
All right, Shaiwan, what does that mean? The stars will be darkened, the moon's not going to shine. What is that talking about?
Slack, so I'm not sure.
It's wisdom, right? It is wisdom. There's not any wisdom in the earth right now, right? You got to think about it. You got the so-called chosen people, the Israelis. They have no wisdom. They're dropping bombs all throughout the people. Like, okay, even a bully understands that if I keep bothering this person, they're gonna strike back. Even a bully understands that. And half the time, a bully wants a good fight anyways because they're angry. That's not the same as our oppressor. Our oppressor is not a bully. Our oppressor is a monster, a devil. Look at the devilish things he's done to Palestine. And again, we're not begging for sympathy for Palestine. We don't have a dog in the fight. We're Israelites. We serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So you're saying judgment. Listen, I asked a question. Why isn't Allah doing anything? And I'm guessing this is a Muslim answering the question. This is what he said. The sign of the day of judgment is when two groups of people fight. That's the reason Allah is not. He's basically saying Allah is not stopping the Israelis from attacking his people because of the day of judgment. So what are the Palestinians being judged for? That's my next question. If Allah is not stopping the Israelis from unaliving Palestinian children, what are the Palestinians being judged for? All right. Charlie one, you can keep reading.
Come, sir. Verse 11. I will punish the world for their evil.
The Most High is punishing the world for their evil. Nor, you're taking too long to answer. I just answered the question for you. The Most High, Allah don't exist, Nor. I'm sorry to tell you, I gotta break your heart, right? Listen, y'all could clip this TikTok if you want. We're about to be done in a moment. But only the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob exists. Ishmael was pushed out into the wilderness. He was given a blessing, 12 princes, but he wasn't given the covenant. I asked earlier, why aren't these gods doing anything? And someone told me it was because of judgment. So then I asked, what are the Palestinians being judged for? What did they do to go through this judgment? This seems like a punishment to have their children unalived by some devil that's been oppressing them for the last 72, 73 years. Sure, you want to read that last part again?
Come. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity.
Right. The Most High is going to punish their world for what they've been doing. Right. Listen, you got Israelis and Muslims are now crying because they're in a war that, listen, they don't want to be fighting. It was all good a week ago, 2 weeks ago, in June. Israel had Slovakia. In June, Israelis had the biggest pride parade in the planet. It was good for them in June. They were having a good time. And now, sure, you want to read the first part of this precept again?
Come. And I will punish the world for their evil.
The Most High is punishing the world for their evil. And again, we got to ask, Slovakia, let's see if I missed any question. Yeah, we understand what Allah means. It's a Hebrew word. You're kind of slow. You're kind of late. Right? So 1 second. So Nor, you're saying that Allah is punishing and judging Palestine because it's the end of the world. So no one should be a Muslim no more because the world is ending. Like, Nor, you're doing pretty bad at this job right now. Whoever sent you in here, you're doing pretty bad. It's really bad right now. Right? Sure, you want to keep reading?
Come.
No, I'm going to tell you why Allah is doing nothing, because Allah has no power. right? Y'all took a Hebrew word and ran with it, right? So your God's name is God. This is it's just God. It's a Greek word, God, power. Oh, 1 second. Good night. Which one of these are going on? Oh, that's what it is. Okay. All right. So it's a Greek word. We're gonna jump past that. Show you want to keep reading.
Sir. And the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease.
Remember, y'all Muslims used to tell us, the Bible has contradictions in it. How arrogant you guys were. Yeah, now it's free Palestine. Show you, I remember that? We'd be walking down the street handing out flyers, and Muslims would run up and say, "You guys are Israelites? Well, your Bible has contradictions." Show you want. I wonder if they're so quick right now to run up and tell the Israelites their Bible has contradictions. Or are they trying to plan their next march on Queen's Park? Right? Show you want the North York Library where we usually go and have this class, right? The North York Library where we usually go and have this class in that Jewish area, they had a big protest. Benai B'rith, I wonder if they're so prideful right now. Right? Y'all would always tell us that we're not Israelites, we don't have the truth, or the Bible needs correcting. That's why Allah sent the Quran. Show you one. Read that last part again. Read what you just read.
Sir. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease.
And just like that, the Israelis put a siege. A siege, that's an old word word. A siege. It's like when you surround a castle to the point where they have to lift up the drawbridge, and it's only the moat around that little river that they have around these castles. The siege. Keep reading, sorry, one.
And will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible.
The terrible, the haughtiness of the terrible. Them Israelis were dropping terrible explosions on the Palestinians. Them explosions were terrible. They've been unaliving Salakia. They've been unaliving Palestinian children. Right? They've been terrible. They've been a horrible oppressor. I'm saying Jewish folks turn around and sell the worst type of image of black folks to the world. Right? If you're a sister or a brother who could rap with a conscience and you say some pretty dope stuff that doesn't involve unaliving us, selling us drugs, or having our sisters be whores, the Jewish man who runs the record labels will not sign you to $1 million contract. Why is that? Why won't he sign us to $1 million contract if we rap like Rap City? If we rap like someone who's not trying to see his people on drugs. Right? Show you want. Keep reading.
Sir. And will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
Keep reading.
Even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
Right. Listen, the Lord is taking the brothers of the I.S.U.P.K and making them fine gold. Right? Nor, you seem to be a Muslim. So I'm going to ask you, Nor, did Muhammad have a relationship with a 9-year-old? Did he have adult relationships with a 9-year-old, Nor? This is my question to you. Now, I want to see his answer for that, right? Because you have Muslims who say he did. So is this true, Nor? Did Muhammad have a relationship with a 9-year-old? This is just a question, right? Show you want to read that last part again?
Con. Even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
Right. So that's talking about a place where the gold was of good quality. It was of high quality. The UPK turns Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American men into fine gold, while the heathen nations tried to turn us into their drug dealers, their criminals, right? And turn our sisters into objects only to be used. The Most High is using the UPK to turn us into fine gold under Commander General Yahanna. Right? Sure, you want to keep reading? And
Verse
so, okay,
13.
listen, I know we're past the time. We're going to be wrapping up just now. This time, you need men of the UPK. You need men like us. The Black, Hispanic, and Native American community needs us desperately. Right? You can see Palestine needs all the men they can get. They need all the men they can get. They're trying hard not to lose this battle. Right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we need each other. We need the strong men to come through these ranks in the UPK, get all that dirt off of them, and become fine gold and go shine in their neighborhoods and uplift their people and gather us all together, because that's what's needed right now. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are needed to gather together, right? And you could just tell. Just look at all the people in the comments who are trying to battle what I'm saying. They understand it's true, or else they wouldn't be here trying to battle it. They understand everything we're saying is true, or they wouldn't be here trying to battle it. Some of y'all have been in a live stream since I cut on the live stream. Right? Show you want. Keep reading.
Con. Verse 13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place.
Keep reading.
In the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger.
Listen, this is what you've been seeing. The heavens are damn near moving. You're seeing the earth be shaken. You're seeing storms in diverse places. An island like Hawaii, who've had volcanoes, it was set on fire. It burnt to a crisp. Right? There's walls of fire traveling to and fro throughout the earth. That people, they like to say, listen, it's because it's dry. Right? Okay. If it's dry, if that's what you're going to say, it's dry. And that's why you're losing. That's why your nation is being plagued, because you think that everything is just some type of science or some type of explanation for it, other than the Most High is doing this because he doesn't like you. He's angry with you. He doesn't like the crimes you've committed against his people. Right. Sure, you want to keep going?
Con. Verse 14. And it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall
Right. So listen, a chased roe. Hold up, Shariwan. A chased roe is a dare, right? This is what it is talking about, right? It's like a dare. You're not going to be able to stop this. No man on 2 feet has ever caught a deer without an arrow. You can't just catch a deer when it's running, when it's in full sprint, when it's trying to get away from the danger. That's what this is talking about. You're not going to be able to stop these plagues. You're not going to be able to stop what the Most High has. So the only thing you could do if you're Black, Hispanic, and Native American is just love Black, Hispanic, and Native American. Come back to the Most High, right? And don't get caught up in the plagues that the earth is going to go through. Keep reading, Shariwan.
Con. They shall every man turn to his own people.
Every man's going to turn to their own people. You see it right now. Every nation is turning to their own people. Now, listen. This is the biggest cut to that so-called Amalekite, the so-called little hat. the little hat guy, the so-called Jewish man who's dropping bombs and sieging the Gaza Strip because Allah is punishing the Palestinians. I didn't say this, right? This is what Noor said. Noor said this in the comments. He said Allah is punishing, and it's the day of judgment. So that's why the bombs are going off and Palestinians are being killed, are being unalived. Salakia, right? Every man shall turn to his own, right? That's what the Palestinians are doing, right? They're turning to their own. The little hat, the Jewish man, says he's not a Caucasian man. Yet and still, every Caucasian man in an office that holds a high power of authority in the earth, in this carnal earth or these carnal kingdoms, right? They rush to his aid. Now, why is that? Why did every single Caucasian rush to the Jewish man's aid, but left the Palestinian? Is it because the Jewish man is white? Is the Jewish man a Caucasian? Is he a European from the Eastern European blocks who went into a land that the Palestinians were living in to oppress them? Right? Every beef loveth its like. Meaning the oppressor is going to oppress, and he's going to say he's not guilty of oppression, and he's also going to turn around and say, listen, those are my brothers, I got to go help them out. Right. Sure, you want to finish it out?
They shall every man turn to his own people and flee every one into his own land.
Every man is going to turn to his own people. If you're Black, Hispanic, and Native American, it's time that you come back to your people. You got to come back to being Black, Hispanic, and Native American, and only loving Black, Hispanic, and Native American. You see, listen, you see so much. Again, we see Amir Stoudemire try to talk down on Black people because Black people aren't saying pray for Palestine or pray for Israel. Specifically, he was talking about Israel. He's saying Black people aren't saying pray for Israel, so he's angry about that. And Israelis don't pray for us, right? I'm from the city of Toronto, where horrible things happen to Black, Hispanic, and Native American all the time, and B'nai B'rith is not out here trying to help us. They haven't tried to feed us, not whites. I have never seen B'nai B'rith in Lawrence Heights or Jane and Finch or any of the neighborhoods that we live in. Right. Again, it's time for us to gather together and feed ourselves and take care of ourselves. Hey, once again, I'm Priest and Officer 1000 Zabaja of the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA. We'll be back again next Wednesday, right? You can follow us. Hey, Shalom. 1 second, I just got rid of that TikTok. TikTok was down, right? Again, Priest and Officer 1000 Zabaja, right? We're going to close out this class. Again, Thawada Shah, you on for tuning in. I know it's kind of late. I'm going to just let you get out of here as we close out. Hit these sign-in links, right? Tomorrow, there's a scripture breakdown class on the UPK main channel, One West Online Classes. Make sure you tune in and ask all your questions. You'll get them answered. Shalom. Yahweh B'Shem Yoshai Barakathem to all the brothers. Yahweh Shemar with them B'Shem Yoshai to all the sisters.
Yahweh B'Shem Yoshai